Hey, hi, hello. It's the LaSala show. Episode number 21. What is it? Goddamn January 10th, 2021. My guest tonight is Mr. Charles Garrett. Dear friend, how say you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yo. How you doing?
So do people Chuck, Charlie, Chaz? Is that something that people come up with?
I was called Chaz once. I can't stand Chuck. I don't think anyone named Charles should ever be called Chuck. My family calls me Charlie, and my friends call me Charles.
Yeah,
so,
I've always thought of you as a Charles. You know, it's a distinguished.
I mean, I've been called other things, but those are different situations.
Exactly. I think we're both guilty of those. But I'm wondering. You chose to be interviewed on your birthday. How are you feeling today? Happy fucking birthday! How old are you?
37, man. 37.
37 is fantastic.
Yeah, 37. Yeah, I've had a string of blessings come in on my birthday. So whenever I was chit-chatting with you, it just made sense to just keep that energy going. So yeah, here we are.
Fucking right, man. I love the energy. Fucking right. Now listen, okay, so from what I've seen, you're not only a rugby player, but sort of a MMA fighter, yes?
Yeah, I was. I did compete in mixed martial arts. I guess I would consider myself more of a martial artist because I'm fluent in more than one martial arts or combative art discipline. So yeah, martial arts is life, man. It's always been life. I haven't been training. I've been concentrating and focusing a lot more on rugby as of late because it's something that's fresh and new. So there's a lot I have to learn. There's a hell of a lot of rules, man, and a lot of subtle nuances to rugby. So I'm really having to immerse myself in rugby. But yeah, I did do some mixed martial arts.
Okay, so obviously there are certain holds that you get guys in and at different parts of the round where probably your sweat is just overwhelming. Have there ever been moments where it's just like, wow, this dude's dick is literally on my head right now?
I really try not to get myself in those positions, man. To be quite honest with you, dog.
That's insult to injury, right?
What's up?
Like insult to injury. It's like, all right, yeah, you have me pinned, and your dick is on my head.
There's quite a few holds and quite a few locks. You know what I mean? That's in mixed martial arts. That's in jiu-jitsu specifically. That you just don't want to be on the wrong side of that submission for those kinds of situations. Luckily for me, based on my game and the way that I play my game, I'm always on top. So
there you go. You're a heavy.
Yeah. I'm always on top. Always on top, man.
So look, rugby. Do you, as a rugby player, look at the NFL and like, oh, these pussies? They're all wearing pads. What are they doing out here?
Well, I'm not a pure rugby player. I'm a football transplant.
Okay.
So going from football to rugby, I think football is way more dangerous because of the fact that you're wearing, essentially armor, right?
You're right.
And you're throwing yourself at someone else with like a polyurethane fiberglass like shield on, right? As opposed to rugby, where it's skin and bones and muscle. And because of that fact, you have to pay a lot more attention to your technique and how you have to tackle and maintaining the tackle. Because if you don't, you don't have that armor and you're more susceptible to injuries.
Exactly. The NFL gives its players the right to be reckless. And it's just, I'm invincible with this fucking Exactly, like
Yeah,
plastic and this whatever helmet I'm wearing, which could actually do damage to me in the long run. So it's
yeah.
just I'm happy at least that they started to penalize players for leading with the helmet. Although it's gotten a little shady with some of the reviews, and it's like, well, he was actually leading with his shoulder pad, but I'm gonna give him a 15-yard penalty because his helmet kind of hit the other helmet.
Yeah, yeah. It's always been one of those things, man. Like, we want these players to be bigger, faster, stronger, and we're putting these pads on these guys, and I will say that I am happy to hear that more and more high schools are starting to kind of adapt the rugby style of tackling, as opposed to what we were taught in American football, which is like head across the ball, that kind of jazz. In rugby, it's like you don't want your head across the ball because you're probably going to get your neck jacked up.
Yeah, I would imagine also that a lot of these guys don't have health insurance. Maybe half the roster.
Way in rugby.
Yeah, I mean, are these people paid? Do they have health insurance based on the fact that they're on the rugby team?
Well, look, let me tell you, as far as like on the men's club on our level of rugby,
Yeah,
or are
yeah,
we talking about like
exactly,
on a
exactly. Like just like a
professional?
no,
Are we
just like
comparing to professional teams?
no. I'm talking about just like a casual league, like what you're doing right now.
Well, we have to sip in, and being sipped in, we're covered by the USA Rugby League,
Oh shit!
which which covers So it's not like there's different levels to it. So like there's club intramural, which they're covered, of course, by the college. If something happens, to us when we're in a playing a sanctioned rugby match, we are covered by USA Rugby League.
Wow. Well, hey man, that's strides for the rugby community. That's props right there. So okay, so if not for rugby, if you had to be in the NFL, which position would suit you best? For our listening audience to kind of get like a vibe of what kind of player you would be.
I'd have to be a strong safety, man.
I love it. I fucking love it. That's exactly I would put you in the secondary, sir. You would fucking
That's a
crack some
strong safety.
skulls. But you would do it legally. You would lower the shoulder, right?
Yeah, I would just try to time my shots, man. I'm not a big fan of one-on-one coverage, but if it boils down to it, I can hold my own. I guess in that first 15,
Yeah, they would
off
probably
the
like
line.
you'd be like a safety in the box. It's like
Yeah,
you're like looking for the running back, but also cognizant of the
I,
tight
I
end
want to
who's
hit those.
going over the
I want to hit
seam.
those slants, man. I want to hit those 5 yard, 5 yard hard and slants. I want to
Yeah,
hit those.
I like that. So look, since I've last seen you, you have a kid now. What the fuck is this? You
I
didn't.
have two kids.
You have two? You didn't give me the memo, man. We're supposed to have kids around the same time. We're both around the same age.
Yeah,
Jesus
I have
Christ, what
I
the
have two
hell?
kids now, man. Two kids.
What the hell is going on there?
My son is 8 years old, and my daughter is 5. Um, my boy, you know, he's a mama's boy naturally. My daughter though, that one there, man. I think every man who decides to have children should have at least one daughter. It's one of those things, man. It kind of puts things into perspective. It really, really opens your eyes to like the subtlety of communication,
Oh
and
yes.
it's one thing to deal with children, and you first off want to make sure that you are the type of parent that you would have wanted as a child, but at the same time, you have to really, really be cognizant of letting kids be kids within the constructs of like a very healthy environment. Um, but my daughter, she is like, my son's got a lot of growing up to do. Boys we're just different. Like from watching my daughter and my son as they grow, my son's he's a lot more, a lot more caring, a lot more open to everything that's around him. My daughter is more like, she kind of already knows who she is, and she's very, very comfortable with who she is. So every decision that she makes, it's based off of like this confidence. You know what I mean? As if like, but both of my kids both exemplify this attitude like they've already been here.
Shit, that's fucking freaking. We were just talking about this. Me and my fiance were just talking about this today about kids and like they have like these memories of past lives and shit.
Yeah, it's very strange, man. It's kind of like they're kind of just getting reacclimated to things, like when they were very very small, right. You know, and they were like I've been here before, but I'm just like, all right, I just got to get used to like my new body, you know, like
right.
they're just getting used. Yeah. So
that's fucking bizarre, man.
They're cool though, man.
That's bizarre. I mean, we only have cats. You know, me and my girl, it's just like we're cat people. That's it. And yeah. I feel like I don't want to bring any other human beings into this world. You know, I feel like it's kind of going a little lopsided, and we can get to that in a second here. But it just seems like
it's a tough time to raise children, man.
Yeah, man. Like I would be so horrified if I had to like explain this nonsense that's going on in the world. And like, do your kids have any access to this, and do they see any of this nonsense, and what do you say to them?
Well, I mean, I guess it's really and truly the only thing they really had to kind of catch a hold of was Corona. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just because like it changed their schools, and like they were out of school for the longest time. So like having to explain to them why their routine was broken was probably the most was the thing that we had to really, really spend a lot of time focusing on when communicating with them, because they don't get to see their friends every day at school anymore. Yeah. You know, they're not like seeing their teachers every day, and now they're at home receiving these, you know, so like that kind of adjustment that they had to become aware of. Now, kids, you know, to the extent at which we wanted to expose them to what was going on, you know, there's certain things like the Capitol Hill, you know, they really just don't need to know, you know what I mean, know about. If they catch something or they ask me a question about something, we have talked about race relations and racial issues. So that's a new one. And I've really just kind of focused on that with my son, because my children are biracial. And, you know, with that being said, you know, it's just a very, very delicate situation that we kind of make sure that we try to stay on top of. But kids are resilient, man. You know, they're a lot stronger than we care to give them credit for. You know, so their bounce back is admirable.
Yeah, man. I worked with kids for the 4 years or 4.5 years I was in New York, and it was crazy just to learn their personalities, and you know, it kind of sucked every year that some people or some kids would move on, and it was just like on March 13th, Friday the 13th of March, it was just like, yeah, all these kids have their book bags and they're leaving, and you've been kind of like teaching them the whole year, and then it's just like, well, I'll never see those kids ever again. Like, yeah. Never. It's just like fucked up, and it's just like, you know, like they were experiencing not being able to see all those other friends, and a lot of those other friends they're never going to see again either, because people are moving. Like, this was a little rich Tribeca school.
I got you.
So it was like celebrity families, and I'm sure they're like flying all over the country. So it's sad. Like it's a trauma at a certain point.
Yeah, it is a lot of drama, man. Lots of drama. You know, to be honest with you, like I'm kind of holding out. You know, like there's really no shock in my bones. There's no like no feelings of desperation. You know, like I don't feel that fear, because I feel like things won't really come to surface until about 10 years from now, man. And hopefully, you know, we can get on top of everything quick enough.
Well, okay, so after the Capitol Hill, or Capitol building, rather, escapades that happened a couple days ago, do you hate white people that much more now?
No, man, because I'm not so like no, I'm not shocked by any of this. Like this, none of this is shocking. The only thing that's shocking about this entire situation is the fact that there was plenty enough time to prepare for it.
Yeah, they denied the
So,
National
like,
Guard. They're
so,
like, nah,
so
we're
it, like,
good.
so it blows my mind about the time that we had to prepare for something like this is they made a conscious decision to be underprepared.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like if you're making a conscious decision to be underprepared, then you're kind of hoping this happens. And like then if that's the case, if you're hoping that something like this is going to come about, then like what's your motive? Like so that's where my head's at with it all. Like
well, then that makes it perfect sense because you saw like the police officer opening up like the whatever fucking kiosk, like little signing, and it was just like, yeah, come on here, and then
well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but like I do like to weigh I do like to try to dig a bit.
Oh, same here.
I'm a skeptic. I guess I'm a skeptic. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a skeptic.
That's
right?
a perfect place to be in because even skeptic can get like a bad connotation, but actually, it's something that's I should call it to be honored to be a skeptic, because you're not
man, it's a good thing to be a skeptic until A&E or whatever the History Channel, whatever it was, started putting aliens up there. Like being a skeptic was a cool thing, you know what I mean? Like you challenged things, you found out the truth. You were like you had your skeptics, and then you had your conspiracy theorists, and then like your those that are apathetic. But like being a skeptic, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I just think that I saw a video of this kid, Sean King. I'm sure everyone knows who Sean King is. This guy, and he posted something about this. They caught this kid right after the woman got shot in the neck. Right.
She was climbing into the window.
Yeah. The woman who went first, she was like first in through the window and got popped in the neck by one of the officers that were there, right?
Good shot.
Yeah, well, so the kid's like he's totally distraught, and he's giving this account of how they had like flashbangs, like these guys were making a military assault, or a militia type of assault on the Capitol building, and he's like, at the end of it, he has her blood on his hands, and he looks at the camera and he's like, "We have to stop this. Like, the government's out of control. They're not for anyone." And he shows the blood on his hand, and he's like, "This could be your daughter." And I'm like thinking to myself, like, you just missed with that statement, you missed the entire BLM movement. Like you missed it. Like clueless.
That's embarrassing. And that bitch, what was her name? Someone from Knoxville. That little white lady who was like, "Oh, fucking, they got me with tear gas. Where are you from?"
Yeah,
Knoxville,
man. Oh, bro. I can't.
The revolution. And like some douchebag is in the background selling French fries.
Oh man! But the funny thing is like I feel bad. I know good people who really believed in "Make America Great Again."
Oh yeah,
definitely. And didn't believe in Trump necessarily, but believed in that message.
That was a hell of a fucking motto to put on the hat.
You know what I mean?
And it was red, it was brilliant, white, and it just looked clean.
Yeah, it was good, man. But they had me when the hats were red. I knew it was a problem.
Yeah,
like red doors, the South. You got to be careful with this red. Red's not a color that you like really see people going by, especially in a political campaign, because of like
the color of the Republican candidacy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, it was
like
just great.
Sky blue or a fucking
patriotic
green.
Blue or something. Like red and white, like just straight.
Like,
it already said hate and like
We're about
anger.
To round up some Negroes here. Let's put on our red hat.
Yeah, I think they're like, I wish I sleep with a copy of Gone with the Wind by my bed. You know what I mean? Like old school, just old school, bro. But yeah, so it's been a wild one, man.
You don't hate white people yet.
The thing is, man, I was laughing with one of my black partners, because we talk about white people a lot, and he was just like, it's that Anglo-Saxon gene. I don't hate white people, but I do think white people collectively are, can be really, really mean. There's just this weird thing with white folks that I've noticed, especially here in the South. I can't speak for everyone, but here in the South, man, there's a certain, I can't understand. It's just weird. Yeah, certain shit to think quoi, right? But no, man, it's just, and it's.
Hey, man, that's why I moved out of this fucking state to begin with. I mean, look,
it's really strange, man. It's a really strange thing.
Of friends, you included. I mean, just like the core of people that everyone understood each other. We were all on the same wavelength, and race had nothing to do with any of our friendships. Like, that was the last thing we were thinking about. And those were the core friends that we developed in Lafayette. And the rest? Huh? What? Who the fuck are these people? Like, it was like almost aliens.
Hey, man, and you know what, bro? Like, they are Lafayette now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I've never, like, I don't know where you came from. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, they just kept leveling up. They just got stronger and stronger. We like kind of shifted about and got our shit together, and everybody else was like, my dad's a dealer. My mom owns stock in Chippendales. I don't know. It's a fluid situation down here.
Well, my issue, like right now, I guess not even an issue with Lafayette, but I say that Lafayette, it's hard to see. There are groups that are working together to do things, but I feel like with everyone that we have there should be more. We should be producing more. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about just the art scene, the creative scene of things. You know what I mean? Because that's my background. There are places like Basin Arts, that are doing some things, that are doing some great things. ACA, but there's a lot of like still division and lack of diversity that I would like to see change. You know what I mean? Like, we need a good representation of what our population looks like in all of the entities or institutions or whatever's happening around in Lafayette. At any time we go to a function, you should be able to see an adequate representation of who makes up your community. And you never see that, So, like, that's the battle that I think we're facing right now in Lafayette. And I think once we can get a leg up on it, there's some things happening that we didn't have before, and it's good. It's a good look, and it's good to see. But Lafayette has a history of, showing up and doing its thing for a while and then dipping out because there's just a lack of continuity between people, and the conversation never is strong enough to continue and to move on.
So you're not a fan of Josh Guillory, I assume.
What are you talking about, dude? That's my dude, bro.
John Bell Edwards, that's your boy as well?
That's my dog, man. What you talking about, bro? We'll talk about my people, bro. Hey, Josh Guillory, I got you, dog.
Yeah, man. I want to see an MMA fight with Charles Garrett and Josh Guillory. And y'all are both down.
I haven't taken.
Y'all got some baby oil.
I would take a fall, man. I would take a fall for that guy. That's how much I believe in him.
So he's gonna turn it around, is what you're saying?
No, he's not.
Okay.
I don't think he is. He's not. He's definitely not gonna turn. What I think is gonna happen, man. He's just Josh. He's going to play the game, and he's going to play his role, and he's going to make sure that he keeps who he feels are the right people happy, and that's just the nature of the beast.
He's just getting his pockets lined. That's all it is.
Huh?
His pockets lined.
Yeah, he's worried about money. He's worried about the budget. right now, from what I hear, we're sitting on a pretty good budget. You know, like a pretty good situation compared to like the rest of the parish. You know, who's like parish has no money, and we're sitting on all of it in the city of Lafayette. But we, you know, I don't know. I got kids in school now, man, and like it's a whole different look. You know, it's one thing, and like these kids are hopefully, you know, they don't know how school is going to turn out, you know, or where, you know, we have right now. Josh Guillory is keeping all the parades open, you know, so he's just like, hey, anyone who's got COVID, who's suffering from COVID,
just don't go out.
We need you for work. Don't go to the parades because we need you for work.
If you go to a family function, also just don't go. You know.
Yeah, we need you to work, but everybody else can go. And if you go to the hospital, we'll figure it out. But you know, it kind of blows my mind when the rest of the state's shutting things down. I don't get those kinds of moves. You know, I don't understand those moves as far as like being a strong state and being a strong city within a strong state when you're making decisions that are just completely, you know, against the benefit of the people you serve. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's pretty complex, I imagine. Like I don't want to sit here and think that I have some sort of master plan because obviously I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But it does
Jesse for president. What you talking about, bro?
It does seem like everyone's hands are tied to a certain extent.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Or like fighting. Everyone's fighting with one hand behind their back. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like I'll hit you in the face, but as long as this guy didn't hit me in the face, right?
Yeah. You know, and I'll fight with you just so I don't have to fight this guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'll fight with you.
It's nonsense, man. If you would have told me this kind of shit when I was like 13, I would have had such a different outlook on the world, and I probably would have done things entirely different. Because this is exactly how shit was running back then. I mean, nothing's changed. Nothing's new.
Yeah.
It's all fucked, Charles.
Yeah, man. It's a wild ride, dude. And you know, it's like the thing is too. It's like you can't get caught up because at any given moment, you know, like a 180 can happen and like something can change. You know, like at any given moment, something can change. Something can be taken away. And it's like, you know, you understand those who are extremely selfish, you know, but at the same time, it's like you can't go against who you are and what you do. And, you know, it's just finding that easy line, man. But people don't want to, like, the thing about it is nobody wants to talk about it. Like, so we're just kind of grumpy all the time, you know?
Oh, exactly. And we have the luxury of being able to speak on it on a platform that has no repercussions. Like, it's not like you can say, like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
And have to actually say that in front of their face. So this whole dynamic of internet balls that everyone seems to have nowadays, and shockingly, the only human beings on this earth who have like gone past that are Karens, who are just like, I don't even know how to use the internet. I'm just gonna go hard in real life. And that's the only thing I'm gonna give them credit for, because it is shocking that these bitches have the tenacity.
Yeah, bro, it's amazing. It blows my mind. You can't help but kind of like admire it to an extent. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, wow, you know, like that's brazen. You know what I mean?
Really went in right there. She really did her thing.
Yeah, she did that.
We're all proud of you, Karen. Whose name is probably Jill or something. You know?
Oh man.
I will say this, I feel bad for all the Karens out there. So shout out Karen.
Hey bro, let me ask you a question, man. If you don't mind.
No, I don't take questions, I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to take this one, dude.
Let's go.
All right. So I watched this thing the other day about black actors and the Illuminati, right? And about how black actors who have been asked to wear the dress watch their entire careers just like go up in flames.
Wait,
right?
they wear a dress and then they're
like Martin Lawrence when he went on like Big Mama. Right?
And he played like a fat version of himself.
Yeah, like a woman. He plays like a woman in a dress who's like an undercover or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like his buddy, another guy, like got in. And who else? Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy got a dress for like Nutty Professor and all that jazz. Right?
How do you explain Medea? And what's his name?
Exactly. That was my next question. Dude. You know what I mean? Because what they're saying and what the brothers are saying is that this guy, Tyler Perry, they're like, I don't make the rules. They said all these brothers who put on the dress, and then Tyler Perry put on the dress, and he's like very successful. So there's some some shit with that. But I'm glad you picked up on that question. That's all I got. That's all I have.
Well, what I'm thinking is, it's of no consequence because all of those movies are terrible. So it doesn't mean anything. It's just like, well, y'all pulled this off.
I'm not a fan. I'm going to go on record and saying I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry.
No.
I don't like I don't like how he represents African American culture.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, because I was not a fan of him either. But then, Charles, look. I'm a white guy, and if I hate any black guy, it's like, oh, you're a racist. No, my favorite person in the world is Devontae Adams. He's a black guy that plays for the fucking Green Bay Packers. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, no, can't stand Tyler Perry, bro.
I can spot bullshit.
Heard that.
You can too, and that's the point. Is that I don't care what Tyler Perry makes, even when he tries to do something serious and scary. It's kind of some bullshit, right? You saw that like horror movie. What was it? Us or Among Us or something?
Bro, I don't even want to go through. I don't even want to waste the brain space, man. I don't even want to waste the brain space, bro. Because like it really bothers me because you got black communities try to model themselves after these stereotypes, and like not everyone, but you do see that. And then you have the white community going there to try to get some insight to how black culture works. And it's just like, man, come on.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this at you. What about your boy, Boseman? The Black Panther guy? What's his name?
Black Panther guy?
Yeah, the guy that played back. He just died. What's his fucking name? Jesus Christ. Now I sound really racist. Jesus Christ.
No.
You can't even remember this black guy's name? Jesus, you're a racist. No, the guy that he was Black Panther in the Marvel movie.
Oh yeah. What about him?
Chadwick Boseman. Yeah.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. What about him?
Everyone had like this super all in like sort of visceral reaction for whenever he died. And he was just in that one movie. I didn't understand. I mean, obviously, I don't want this guy to die, but
well, look, check it out. I think what it was
weird outpouring.
Well, the thing with Chadwick Boseman is that while he was because he's in other movies. Like Netflix has 2 or 3 movies, and I think maybe a series or 2 movies in like a series that he was in prior to him dying that I think came in like before and after his Marvel. But him struggling with cancer while acting, and people are telling him, that you're losing weight for all kinds of other reasons. You know what I mean? Like, and really giving him like a lot of shit about what his body's going through. While he was trying to act and still acting and keeping his mouth closed and not coming out and saying, hey, I have cancer, and whining about it, right. I think is what people were kind of rallying behind. Yeah. I mean, the dude suffered in silence for sure,
I guess I absolutely forgot about that aspect of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. He like suffered in silence. He didn't say much, it was just, But I mean, you could see the difference between, there's some shots of him like in between sets, and brother was looking rough. You know what I mean? But still showing up to work, still getting it done.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not discounting anything he's done. I'm just, it was.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. No, it was definitely strange.
It was, it was very like people who had never even heard of him was just like, oh, I saw him in Black Panther. Oh my God.
It was like posthumous. I'm sure his posthumous sales were just like,
yeah,
it went up. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna call you Chuck in this last minute interview, and you can answer as long or as short as you want for these questions.
Well,
okay?
All right. If you're talking to Chuck, Chuck's got to come out, man.
Hey, man, bring Chuck out. Pull him out the basement. Let him.
No, that's not fun. Anyway.
All right, Chuck. Your first kiss. How was that? And what age?
I don't fucking remember, man.
I've been doing this shit to death.
I'm 30. I turned 37. My first kiss. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have a clue.
You don't remember the first mouth you lunged towards?
No, man. Sure don't.
Damn.
I'm trying to think. First girlfriend. I remember who it would be, but I don't remember how that kiss went.
Okay, here's what I will follow up with. What was the worst kiss? Like where it was just like, Jesus Christ, have you never kissed anyone before?
Oh my God. Yeah. And she was really nice to hang out with, man. And like she's a great, like, and it was really, really tough because like I don't know how to communicate that I really wanted to hang out with you, but I don't want to kiss you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like I don't want to kiss anymore.
So it was like one of those marathon kisses, and it was just like
no, man. It's like her face just didn't open up enough. She didn't loosen up enough for the kiss. You know, she kept wanting to kiss, but it was like making out with a fish.
Wow.
You know, that you had pulled out of the water.
So
you let it sit for a little while, and then you tried to kiss it.
Trout mouth. What did her? Yeah,
trout mouth. She just didn't. It was just weird.
Was there an odor?
Like, I mean, imagine if a trout had a tongue that they can like stick out every now and again, and it was like that. It was really weird.
Little creepy ass tongue.
Yeah, it was strange, man. It was strange.
All right. Well, okay. So, are you a fan of MF Doom?
Next question.
Sorry. Didn't mean to go.
It's a terrible fucking question.
I didn't mean to strike a heart line in there.
Yes, man. I'm a fan of MF Doom, man.
How unfortunate was that news when it got to you, and what song would you say is just like, damn, that's the one?
Shit. To be quite honest with you, I had more of an impact with the tribute songs that came out after MF Doom. You know what I mean? The outpour and the outcry that the artists that came after and put shit out for MF Doom probably will resonate with me stronger than what MF Doom actually did.
Yeah, man. He was amazing enough to captivate all different genres.
Yeah,
of
man.
Music.
That to me is like is a sign like of where that guy was, like the people that he's touched and reached out and like, you know, just out of GP showed up and was just like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of jive speaks a lot about a man. When I heard the news, you know, two things kind of hit me when I first found out was how come they waited so late?
Exactly. It was a little strange, right? I mean, I guess the family kind of gets that luxury to be able to do whatever the fuck they want, but also it's like, damn, October? Like,
that's a long time. And two, you know, why haven't they said what happened? You know? So I don't... With him wearing a mask, you know, it makes you think about depression. It makes you think about, like, social anxiety. But I don't know. Have they come out and said, I haven't seen anything about them coming out and saying how he passed.
No, not at all. And, you know, I would like to know, but also I guess I don't deserve to know unless it was like
No, you're right. You're right.
he was
You're
like
right.
someone broke into his house and he was trying to defend himself and you know
Yeah.
he took a
You know, if
knot
he
on
was
the
like a
head.
hero, I think it'd be cool for people to know. But
If it was just plain old alcoholism, then I would be like, yeah, I'll probably die at 50 as well or 49.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
So
But
how much do you booze? I'm not trying to be like a
how much do I
interventionist.
what?
How much do you booze?
How much do I booze?
Yeah,
Like drink?
yeah.
Not much, man.
Okay,
Not much at all.
so
I drink a lot of tea.
okay, so what are the best teas if you could recommend to my audience? What teas for what?
I mean, chamomile tea if you're trying to like relax.
Okay.
There's like a chamomile like lavender tea that I'm a big fan of. Um, right now though, I am boozing because it is my birthday.
Well,
So
fucking right.
let you guys know boozing. But chamomile tea, black teas, the Darjeeling tea, green tea. I mean, it really just depends on how you're feeling, man. You know?
Yeah. So what do you think about this matcha, or is that how you say it?
I
Matcha.
like matcha. Matcha's good, man. Matcha's cool. There's a
So
whole like ceremony behind serving matcha that I think it's like part of the aesthetic, right? But yeah, matcha's cool.
yeah, it's like a substitute for coffee, from what I
Yeah.
gather.
I like actually taking matcha and mixing it with my coffee,
Oh shit.
and it's not bad. It kind of just that bitterness that comes with coffee.
Exactly.
Well, the matcha kind of cuts that bitterness out,
Okay.
so you still get that like green tea kind of punch. Like, because the good thing about green teas is that they are antioxidants, right? So they antioxidize. But yeah, matcha and my coffee is pretty good punch.
Okay. I'm gonna get you out of here real quick. What happens when we die?
What happens when we die?
Yeah.
Um,
What have you figured out so far in your 37 years of mapping this earth? What is going to happen when we finally take our last sleep?
Man, I'm gonna stick with how I've always felt, man, is that like when we do die, it doesn't matter, right? So like it doesn't matter what I think now, so like why waste time thinking about it if it won't matter until I die? Like that jump across, I don't waste any time worrying about that. Trying to figure out how to live, you know what I mean?
I like that. I like that. That's actually I may have to adopt that because I've had this obsession with death for probably 20 years, and it's
Yeah.
just it plagues me. It's like
It-
why would I do this today if I just know I'm gonna die? And
Well, you
then
see, that's the thing. I think it's okay to be obsessed with the death part, but it's like life until the death part, and then once you're dead, it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole different ball game. So like, yeah, worry yourself about like life until death, and then when you then don't like go any further than that. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
Like it just doesn't fucking matter.
it's just such like you're sitting on a cliff, I guess, and you have your toes dangling over the side, and it's like, yeah, I could jump, and I could land, in the water, and it's fine, and it's just like that feeling of like, all right, am I gonna do it right now? Am I gonna do it? Like that little like I guess maybe bungee jumping or skydiving would have the similar effect, but it's just like that little. All right, here we go. And I feel like that's like how I'm living my whole life. It's just like constantly just like, all right, am I about to jump out the fucking plane? What are we doing? All right. So
Yeah, man.
so
At some point you're gonna catch a up breeze, right? Like an upwing.
yeah. Okay, so what do you think is like the best case scenario for you? Like is there like a alternate reality that our consciousness goes to, or is it just sort of like a black we don't even realize what's happened. We've just gotten a tremendous dose of DMT that plays out the scenario of what feels like 45 years for us, but it's just like a a dream basically that just settles us into death.
Man, I kind of think we just kind of get recycled. You know,
We're just
I think
manure.
I think we get recycled with a new. I want to believe that we get recycled with a new set of like a new consciousness with the same ingredients, and there's like a slight undertone. Kind of like when you play a video game, right? And there's that ghost. You know what I mean?
So
like you go to a racing game, and there's that, like, after you beat the game the first time, you play it a second time, and there's a ghost that you kind of follow.
Right. And it's like,
not
hey,
really
come
you.
over
Yeah.
here. Well, but you even said it with your kids. It's like they said some shit like, I don't know, my girlfriend was talking about some
Yeah,
shit.
they're like they've been here before,
Right.
like
My girlfriend said she saw a story where a child saw something about the Twin Towers, and he was like, "Oh, I used to work in that building," and then it got really hot.
I
And then I jumped out
want to
the
say I
window.
faintly remember coming across something like that.
Yeah,
And
that kind of shit freaks me out because I was always looking for some sort of sign or some sort of like relevance for what we're going through, and that kind of did it for me. That it was just like, well, there was no way this child would have known or would have this like there was another where it was like a bomber in World War II or World War One, and it was like, oh yeah, that was my co-pilot Jeffrey, or whatever the fuck his name was, and it was just like how, and they looked it up and it was like that was actually true, and how would they fucking know? And that to me was sort of like the validation that I needed.
That would be cool, man. That'd be really cool.
But yeah.
There's so much shit, man. There's so much shit with the brain that we like don't even, that we're still trying to figure out. Like deja vu and like
right,
synchronicities. Like when you're thinking about someone, right? And I know we've all been here. Someone crosses your mind and then they like call you
or text you.
Yeah, have you ever be like, you know what I mean? Like that
Absolutely.
kind of jive. That shit's weird, right? And like I think that kind of stuff boils into, like it's related somehow to what you and I are talking about right now. Those that like fabric in between the fabric, that we really still are trying to get a grasp of, But yeah, it happens to me all the time, man. Like I'm thinking about somebody and then like ding, it's like, what? Come on, no way.
Yeah.
That's weird. You know what I mean? Or walking by like a street lamp and it goes off.
Right.
That's a weird one that happens to me a lot. Like, no, all the lights are fine. I just walk by a street lamp and that son of a gun goes off. And it's like, what is that?
What I've had happen is like I'll listen to a podcast and they'll be talking about something and then I'm trying to think of a good example, but it's basically they'll say a word and then all of a sudden whatever word they said, it's like somewhere in the room. And it's not like I'm looking for it. It's just more like, wow.
Like, yeah, weird synchronicities, bro.
Right. It's so stupid, but also you start to think about it.
It's really jacked. I need to learn more about it because, like, I think with something like that, man, you're playing with the devil almost, because it's like, at which point does you cross that line and it becomes paranoia. You know what I mean? Right. Or it's like it becomes a psychosis. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to catch these synchronicities, and then these synchronicities become coincidences, and then these coincidences become like voices of God telling you that you should slay, a bunch of demons that are in your family with a toothpick that you found. It's just weird stuff, dude. Weird stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting off in the court of law with those same rationalities.
Yeah.
All right, so how long until the aliens visit us? Because they're out there.
Why would they come here?
That's a good question, but also
why? What do we have? What do we have that they really? I mean, let's be honest here. You know what I mean? Like, what do we have? Like? We're ridiculous, man. Aliens have there's nothing about what we're doing here unless unless the aliens are somehow unable to create technology, but have the technology to fly.
Right.
You
So
know,
maybe they see us as like, oh my God, these people are so talented.
yeah,
Like,
but you got to us, you know what you got here. So
yeah, we're the alien ant farm for them, and they're just
yeah,
like,
I don't
oh
know.
yeah, Billie
Alien,
Eilish. Oh, she has some bitchin' tracks, and what's her name?
yeah,
Cardi B. Oh my God, that wet ass pussy
no,
song is
yeah, no, you
amazing.
know, the stallion. They're gonna come here and just pick up all those chicks, like
They're just
Doja Cat. They're just gonna come here, pick up Doja Cat, pick up like the Stallion and Cardi B and all those, and just leave.
and be like, all right, we got all we needed. We're gonna blow this
Yeah,
fucking
this is the
place
best.
up.
This is the best you guys got here. So
I
later.
can't believe y'all made Donald Trump your president. We're blowing this shit up.
Yeah, you know, just weird.
But how uneasy does that make you feel just knowing that there are other intelligent life forms out there?
I'm a black man in the South, dude.
You're good. You're weathered for it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what you guys are like. No sweat off my back. You know,
Yeah. You
I'm
sound.
not. You know, we have reported. You know, we have children in cages separated from parents. You know what I mean? And like, they're considered aliens. So you know, I don't know. It's just I'm not. There's nothing about extraterrestrials that scares me none
Yeah.
until like we can all live, you know what I mean, equal, like on an equal platform together. You know, like I really can't see that far. I'm too busy, you know, trying to make sure that my kids are kind of growing up in this world and understanding, you know, that they are both black and white and what their place is in the world. So those aliens, like I said, bring it on. Whatever you guys got to do what you got to do. I got other shit to worry. I got grown man shit to worry about.
I
right?
like that. I like that because also, if aliens do come with ill intent, we're all gonna die at the same time. It's not gonna. It's gonna be like some hostage situation. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
all right, we're only taking the blacks, all the whites die, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
what
No.
we're all gonna get blown up. It's all gonna be a
Yep.
fucking fire fury.
Yep.
What are you gonna do?
Yep.
All right, so where can people find you on social media if they want to? Do you have like a poetry blog or anything? Because know
I
you're a
run right now. I'm chief editor, or you know, editor in chief of Sunder Press Poetry Publications, which is sunderpress.com, SUNDER press.com. They can find us on Facebook at Laffy Publications 337. We have an Instagram page by Sunder Press. Charles Garrett, you know, it's all connected, man.
Hey, find my man, look him up, give him a shout out, and thank you so much for being a guest on the Just LaSala show. And until next time, don't die.
Peace.